So sir, tell me something about IIGJ and what was the mandate behind IIGJ being set up?
See, IIGJ in a way it's a very unique institute because it is set up by the industry, and the prime body behind it is Gem and Jewelry Export Promotion Council, which is a nodal agency, deputed by Ministry of Commerce. So it's a project by them, and the whole institute was mandated to be industry relevant and run programs which services the industry. But what challenges we were facing since beginning was that because we run a lot of training programs which are for the bottom level workers, and there was a whole lot of issue of fees, who will pay their fees and all that. Because when you are dealing with skill, there is an additional cost because you're dealing with a lot of processes, a lot of tools, a lot of equipments. So I think NSDC, we are one of the first training partner of the NSDC, and they have supported us right from the beginning. And with STAR scheme, many of our other concerns which we have been facing are kind of rationalized. For example, fees is taken care of. It kind of boosts the morale of the people to take up a skill program because there is a certification which is valid across the sector and it is equivalent to any other qualification which is available in any other educational framework. There is assurance of job because all the programs are industry relevant. There is a third party assessment, so it brings a whole lot of fairness in the whole program. And IIGJ always was kind of with a mandate that where a whole lot of industry was regularly participating in kind of helping us gain vision about the exact industry requirements. So we have around 8-9 committees where 40 to 50 trade leaders are linked directly, and they meet in micro forums to give us first-hand feedback about the exact requirements. And with STAR scheme, what has happened since they are aligned to NOS and QP, so we are now having you can say agreed or the national benchmarks for each qualification pack. And based on that, I think now most of our programs are already aligned, and very soon we are looking at all our programs to be aligned with that.
So now going forward, as you said, the STAR scheme solves the problem of the fee that the student was not being able to pay. In various vocational training programs, of course, Gems and Jewelry is also one of them. You said it is the qualification packs and the national occupational standards which make the courses and the trainings very industry specific. So given that you're training on the STAR scheme, you're a part of the pilot as well. Can you tell me something about how do you connect the whole supply chain? So you are the training organization. STAR scheme helps you to align your courses first, and then also for the student gives subsidy on various training programs. The last and the most important leg is the industry or the jobs that the student is coming first for the training. So the training is industry specific, as you mentioned. How are you connecting with the jobs? Do you have affiliations or ties with various industries in Jaipur or across the country? So if you could tell me more about that.
See, I think the most can say the beautiful aspect of this scheme is that it's a seamless integration, or it's a complete circle in which it runs. For example, if we start from National Occupation Standard to qualification pack, they are derived by a whole lot of interaction with the industry, and based on that, what is exactly the requirement, those things are defined. And then what happens, based on that, all the training partners, whether it is my institute or any other institute, if they ever run a program corresponding to that, they have to address those standards and then run their program.
Sure. So can you tell me something about the successes of the pilot? How many students did you train? And what is the numbers that you envision accomplishing going forward, and can you provide jobs for the numbers that you're committing?
See, 48 students we have in our first pilot batch, which is for CAD designer, and it's a mix of students with prior skills, and there are students with almost no skills, so there is a complete fresh teaching which is happening. So we have kind of taken them through the whole learning process, and today they are undergoing a test, which is a third-party test, as we have already discussed. So, and secondly, in gem and jewelry sector, the most important thing is that the industry requires a huge number of skilled manpower, trained manpower at every level. So, I number one don't foresee any issues in terms of placement, at least for next 5 years. And secondly, we are linked with almost all the trade bodies. At the national level, we are linked with Gem and Jewelry Export Promotion Council, and regional level, we are linked with the Jewelers Association of Jaipur and our Sitapura Gem and Jewelry Association, where we have kind of written understanding with them that they will place our students in their industry on better remuneration.
So how many students do you envision training under the STAR program?
In STAR program, roughly anything above 25,000 we are looking at in one whole year to train and certify.
That's great. Thank you so much for your time.